Hello friends, through this video you will learn all the steps that you need in order to install Hadoop 2.9.0. This is the URL where from you can download the Hadoop. This is the file which you need to download. It's the zip file, that's a tar file. I have jotted down all the steps and I will be executing one after the other these commands which eventually will install Hadoop. Once Hadoop is installed, you can run the Hadoop from this particular URL localhost colon 570. This is the default port number of name node of Hadoop. But currently since Hadoop is not there, so obviously it is unable to connect. Okay. So let's start all the process. So at first we will open the command prompt by pressing Ctrl Alt and T. Right now the admin or the root user has logged in. So uh, we are right now in the stage A. What we are going to do is that we are going to create the user. Okay. So this command, all this command, the following stage A command will be fired by the admin. So at first we are going to create a group. So let me copy this command whereby we will be able to create a group by the name called Hadoop underscore grb, and let me provide the password and the group is created. Next we are going to create a new user which will be assigned to the following group. So the username is Hadoop underscore Swaroop. You are free to change the name of the user and even the group name which I have fired in the previous command. I hit the enter, it will prompt me to enter the password. The cursor won't move. Okay, make sure I'm giving the password as Hadoop. You are free to choose whatever password you want. It is asking me to enter the name, so I'm writing the name as John. The rest of the thing I'm keeping it as blank. It will prompt me that all the information is correct. I said yes, everything is correct. Now I will assign the new user Hadoop underscore Swaroop as a pseudo user. So this command is very important. Then only it will be getting extra privilege for the installation of Hadoop. So here is the command and I hit the enter. It has been assigned with the super user privilege. So stage A is over. Now we go for the creation of SSH. So in that case, we have to switch out of admin and we have to enter into the new user, and here onward all the command will be fired by the help of Hadoop underscore Swaroop. So how do we switch the user? Here is the command su. So I copy the command and I paste it over here. So whereby I will be switching to the new user. It will prompt me to enter the password of the user which you have created few minutes ago. That was Hadoop. Now if you see, I have logged out of Swaroop. I have been now in the new user called Hadoop underscore Swaroop, but still in the home directory of my previous user, which I shouldn't do. So I should change the home directory by writing cd space tilde sign. Now we are out of the home directory of my previous user. So let me clear the screen. Okay. Now I'm going to check whether SSH is installed or not. In Ubuntu 18.04 by default the client version of SSH will be coming preloaded, so it will show you the path where a client SSH is installed, and this is the command to check the path for the server SSH. If you fire this command in my system, the path will also be shown, but in your case the path won't be shown because the server SSH won't be installed. So this is the command to install the server SSH. So I am installing it once again. In case if there is any update, it will be updating my SSH. So the password is Hadoop Swaroop and it has got no new version because it's already the updated one. Once I've done that, then I will check that inside my current directory is there any SSH folder is present or not. Do remember it's a hidden folder, so -a has to be associated and L stand for the long listing. So right now I will not find any .ssh folder, or rather what we will see, we will just have a hidden -rc file associated for the user who has logged in. This file will also be very important. We'll come to that. Now we have to create one empty SSH password. So if we copy the statement and we paste it over here, this will prompt you with a message generating public private key. Enter the file to which you are going to save. I'm not going to give any name. In that case, what happened in my home directory, the user who has logged in his home directory, who the name of the user is Hadoop underscore Swaroop, there will be a hidden directory called .sh and the private key is going to be id underscore rsa. I am very fine with that. I hit the enter and you see over here your identification has been saved in the following path. Okay, so now if I give ls-la, I will be able to see my hidden folder .sh, and if we go inside .sh, it will be also showing me what is the current content. See, I have got my private key. The name of the file is id underscore rsa. I also have a public key. .pub is a public key. So these two files are already there. Now what I have to do is that I have to assign this public key to a new file called authorized key. Okay, so that is the step. I will copy this particular content of the file to a new key, that is the authorized key. But currently I am in .ssh, so prior you fire this particular command, you should come out of your .ssh folder. So let me give cd a blank space followed by dot dot. So I am out of the .ssh folder. Now I am free to create the new file. So cat is the command that will be creating a file, and the file will be an exact replica of the public key by the name authorized key. So I hit the enter and the file has been created. So if you want to check it, so you can go again back to .ssh and you will find that the ls-la, see, we have got a new file called authorized key. Okay, this file will be the one which Hadoop is going to access, and where from it will take all the, like while we are installing all the packages in Hadoop, it need to have the password. But since I have assigned my public key to the authorized key, the password will be taken from this file. It will not always prompt me to enter the password again and again. Okay, if SSH was not there, then in every instance the password would have been asked by the Hadoop. Okay, so let me step out of my .ssh, and now we will assign the localhost privilege of the SSH. Why we are doing that? Because Hadoop will be activated and we will work with the help of localhost. So we need to have the permission to localhost. Now it is asking that, are you sure you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. I give the yes option, and in that case my localhost will be having the password permanently been saved in a known as a known host. It's you will see the message over here. See, what the permanently added localhost to your known host. That means from now onward, when we will work on Hadoop, it will not ask me to enter the password again and again. So these were all the steps of SSH. So we have successfully completed stage B. Now we are in the download and copy of Hadoop. Well, I already said that this is the following URL where from you to download it. Here is the URL. Here from you can download your Hadoop 2.9.0, and after you have downloaded this, your download will be having the following tar file. Okay, so we need to extract our tar file. So let's do that. So I'm copying this following option which will extract my tar file. Okay, but where is my tar file? The tar file is present inside the document, is inside the download folder. So I have to move to my download folder. So how do I do that? So if I check the current content of the place where am I don't have much, just the file is there. So I have to go to my root directory. So cd root. So inside the inside the root directory, here let me exit from here. Yeah. So we have to go to the root directory. So cd the slash. We are right now in the root directory. So give me ls command. So we have to go to the home directory. So we need to move to the home directory. So cd home. Once we do that, again we give ls, we will be able to see two users. Okay, and I have downloaded the Hadoop in the user Swaroop folder. Well, you can download in your own folder in your own user account as well, but since I downloaded initially, so it got downloaded in the Swaroop folder. So I go to cd Swaroop. So here I will find the ls, and here we have the downloads folder. So and by the way, it is a case sensitive, so make sure you give the D as uppercase. And once you have written initial 3 characters, if you press the tab from the keyboard, it should get the file name should appear automatically. Then you will understand that everything is fine. And see over here, I have my zip folder of the Hadoop. So now we can fire this is the command to unzip your file which is there in the current working directory. So as I hit the enter, all the file will be unzipped. So let's do that, and it is asking me to enter the password, and here it is, and it is showing all the files that is been unzipped. So if you follow the command minutely, X stands for extract, so you are extracting. V for verbose means it will show all the files while it is extracting. Z is again a zip, and F stands for file. So this was the command for tar-xvzf. that will extract the file and it will create a new folder by the same name Hadoop hyphen 2.9.0 once the extraction is finished. So it will take a bit of time. So let it continue. It looks good now. So all the files are getting extracted and then it will return me the command prompt. And then we will, by the way, after we have done that, what we will do, we are going to create a directory. Why? Because my extracted file is also getting saved in my download folder. So I don't want to access my Hadoop from the download folder. So I will store my Hadoop in some other folder where it is in the user folder. In the root directory there will be a user, there will be a local, and there will be Hadoop. So let me go and check it out from here. So from other location, come to the computer. Here this is my root directory. So here there is a user folder. I want that inside in there, so there is a local folder. Here I want to create one Hadoop directory. So currently there is no folder called Hadoop, but I will be creating it right over here. Why I'm creating it? It will become universal. So once you have created the folder right over there, you can access it. The user can access it from anywhere. So there will be no constraint. Okay. But always remember that since this is a universal location, so you don't have the permission to use all the time. So for that reason, we have to check something called ownership. So we need to we will see what is the ownership of that particular folder Hadoop which we will be creating. Obviously ownership will not be given to us initially. We will change the ownership. We'll do that. See, the extraction is over. So right now if you want to go and file ls, it will show you that you have got the tar folder which was there before, but now you have got the extracted folder as well. And you can also go and check it from here also. Go to download, see you have the extracted version and it contains all the files. Okay, isn't it good enough, right? So now what we are going to do, we have to make this particular folder in the user hyper location. So you copy this and right now you are from the download, so then there's no problem with that, no issue with that. So I paste it and this will create a folder, but obviously I have to give the flag -p because I need to get the permission. So if you now go and check the check your other location and from the computer, and then see there's a user folder, and over here you have a local, and here now you have created the Hadoop. I have to pass the content of my download Hadoop, everything inside this particular Hadoop folder which I just now created. Over here everything has to come. Okay, that's what we are trying to do and that's our intention is. So now what we have to do, we have to move all the files. So here is the command that will move all the files, but currently if you see the path I have shown, the source path I have shown is in the download, and currently I'm in the download folder, so naturally I don't have to give this entire path. And where am I wish to transfer it? I want to transfer it in my / user local Hadoop. So this destination is fine, and I want to transfer all the file that is there inside this particular folder. So what I will do is that from here I will remove rest of the part because my current location is already inside the download folder. Make sure after you do the move, there should not be any /, there will be nothing, just the name of the directory. Okay, so sudo mv, the name of the directory where all the content are there, and this is the all the files you want to transfer them into the user local Hadoop. Okay, very simple. I hit the enter and it's all been done. So now if you go and check over here, you have given the move command, so this folder will be there, but this is going to be empty. So let's go and check it out from here. So you go to download, you have the folder, but it's all empty, nothing is there because they have taken everything, and where you have pasted, you have pasted in the user folder. So you go to other location, computer, user, and there is a local, and inside local you have got Hadoop. See, everything is right over here, isn't it? That's so nice. So successfully you have been able to transfer the folder over here, but again there is a small problem. What is the problem? If you check the ownership of this location, so that's what I'm going to do now. So let's come back to the file once again. So I'm checking the ownership. For that what I will do, I will go to my path. So I will copy this path from here. I will get back to the Hadoop folder. So right now I'm in download folder, so I'm pasting it. So I don't have to go inside the Hadoop folder, I just need to go to the local folder. Yes, I'm right now in the local folder. So let me clear the screen, a lot of stuff is coming. And now I will fire the command ls-l to see the permission. See, the Hadoop is belong to the user whose name is root and the group whose name is root. So this is not what I want. The privilege should be given to whom? privilege should be given to Hadoop underscore Swaroop who belong to the group Hadoop underscore GRP. That's the reason why we will change the ownership. This concept of changing the ownership, you have to understand it very minutely because many folders we are going to create which will be used for Hadoop purpose. So let me paste it and I will explain what the thing is. Sudo chown, the word can be crown, count, change owner, sorry, ch stands for change, own for the owner, recursively because inside the folder Hadoop underscore sorry Hadoop there can be many files, so you are recursively changing all the ownership, and this is given to the Hadoop underscore Swaroop, the user who belongs to the following group, and this is the path where the file is located. So I hit the enter and everything got fine. Now if you fire the ls-l command once again, you will see this root won't be shown again. Let's do that. See over here. Now the username is Hadoop underscore Swaroop and the group name is Hadoop underscore group. Initially it was meant to root and root. Okay, this thing has to be done. Then only you will be able to access the following file. Okay, once you have changed the ownership, now to run Hadoop we need to create few more directories. So let me show you. I will be using the same location user local, but I will create one directory called Hadoop underscore store, and over there inside that HDFS Hadoop distributed file system, and there is something called name node will be there. We will learn all these terms. Okay, let me tell you one thing at this point of time. While you are installing Hadoop at this point, you will be coming across some technical terminologies which are very important. You need to understand those terms, which will be covering up. I will be covering up in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so one of the term is called name node. There is another term is called data node. So I want to create two directory which will be used explicitly for name node and data node, where I want to create inside the local, okay, where already my Hadoop folder is there. So let me minimize this one. Let me get back to this file once again. So I'm in the others, in the computers we already have a user folder. I want, there is a local, I want over here another folder by the name Hadoop underscore store gets created, and that is what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, so I copy the path from here, and since I'm doing it from the Hadoop underscore Swaroop, so I need to have the permission. Okay, so I hit the, I paste it. So this will create a folder by the name Hadoop underscore store, inside which I have got HDFS, which I have another folder is there called name node. So if you come over, see there is Hadoop underscore store and there is HDFS and there is a name node, and there will be also one more folder called data node. So let me paste back the file. These folders we will be using them in the configuration of Hadoop. Okay, so at the runtime of Hadoop they will be using these particular folders. So I hit the enter. So inside the HDFS there is another folder called data node. So if you come back over here, HDFS has got two folders called data node and name node. Isn't it good enough? Again the same problem will take place. What is the problem? The problem is the ownership. So ls-l, if you go for it, it will show you that there is a folder by the name Hadoop underscore store, but it belongs to the user root and the user group is root. This is not permissible. So we have to change the ownership. So if I change the ownership of Hadoop underscore store, eventually -r is there. So recursively whatever is there inside that folder, everything will get changed. Hit the enter, fine. And now if I fire the ls command, now we will see the Hadoop underscore store also belongs to the user Hadoop underscore Swaroop, which belongs to the group Hadoop underscore group. Very good. So you have done a great piece of work. So now we are in the stage D. So in the stage D, what we are going to do is that we are going to assign the environment path, okay, to the current user. You remember na, that inside the user there was a basrc file. So that's what we are going to do it. So currently your present working directory should be home or the cd tilde. So right now I am in my local, so let me change back to the tilde. Yes, and let me clear the screen because here I will be getting my basrc file. Okay, so ls-la will show me that the following user has a file called .basrc which holds a path, the default path, which are the application that you are going to use, that get activated the moment the user logged into the OS. So this file I need to modify now, and for the modification of the basrc I need to make use of the sudo gedit. Gedit is an application through with the help of which I can modify or I can process my basrc. So it will ask me, okay, at time what happened, no, when you fire this command, it says the connection is refused. This problem takes place at time. See, you cannot open the file. Don't worry, you just close your terminal or open a new terminal. And remember, while you're opening your new terminal, let me show you once again. Your current user and your root directory, everything will get changed. So you have to get into the terminal once again. So let me press Control. So we will be back with the Swaroop. So I have to go for switch user Hadoop underscore Swaroop. This you have to do it every time, and it is asking me to enter the password. Yes, and I am right now inside the home directory of my previous user. So I need to go for cd tilde, and that will bring me to my working directory. And then I will fire the command, which is over here, sudo gedit /rc. At time the error takes place, just repeat this process. You will find everything is working fine. So hit the enter. It is prompting me to enter the password, which I will do it. And now you will see the file is getting open. Well, there is no reason why the error took place, but this happened at time. I have seen that. So this is a step which you have to just do it. You will close the terminal and you will open the terminal and make sure you have logged as the user with the root directory being changed. This is something which you have to keep in mind. Okay, so I have already installed, it got maximized. I've already installed my Java in the system. So I need to set the path of the Java, and there are some if I have to set some default Hadoop variables which will understand why we are writing this. But what we'll do, we'll simply copy this entire chunk of data and we'll simply paste it after your file. Be very careful that you don't mistakenly remove any word of the existing .basrc. So I will paste my content over here. The first two line is telling me which is the default path for my Java, since Hadoop will be working on Java. So you have to install Java prior before you install Hadoop. And rest of the configurations, if you see, I have installed my Hadoop in the user local Hadoop. That is what I'm setting. And if you go and check it out inside Hadoop, there will be an sbin folder is also there, which holds very important files. So if you want to see, you can go. I can take you over there, no problem. So let me open our other location. You go to computer, you go to user, you go to local, you have a Hadoop over here, and see there is some folder called sbin. These files are going to be configured very soon right now in this video only. So here very important files are there, like hdfs file, the yarn file. These things we are going to start with, and this particular folder contains this following file, start dfs. This is the file that will actually start the data node, the name node. Okay, and this is the file that will actually start the resource manager. We will work on these files very soon. So this folder location we have to make use of. So that's the reason in the command we have said that sbin will be used. Okay, and some other configurations like map produce will be there, hdfs Hadoop file distribute file system will be there, the resources will be provided by yarn. So that's the reason you have mentioned all this configuration path. Okay, so once you have done that, you have to save the file. Very good. And then you will close the file. Wonderful. And now you have to apply the changes. So source.basrc, whatever modification you have done, that should be applicable. Great. And now you will be able to see the Hadoop version. If everything has been successful, they will show you the version that is 2.9.0. So let's wait. It's checking the version, and I'm eagerly waiting to see the version that will be shown. So it is taking the time because just now it has done the configuration. You know, Hadoop is actually a very resource oriented. Wow, that's great. See, Hadoop is showing that this is a version that is present in your system. So that means you have successfully able to activate the path. Okay, don't think that your Hadoop will start right now, because you have to apply some modification to the configuration files that comes in the local, in the user local Hadoop folder. In the etc there is another Hadoop folder is there. So we have to go for some configuration. So whatever changes we'll apply right now, we'll apply from here onward. Like 60% of the work is done. So now we will go to this particular folder. You remember, inside the user local Hadoop folder is there. There's also a file called etc. Sorry, there's a folder called etc, and inside that there is another folder called Hadoop. So let me copy this path over here. Always remember that all these things is done by the Hadoop underscore Swaroop user. Okay, just remember this thing. Without this user, nothing is going to work on, because this is the dedicated user who is going to work on Hadoop. So I'm pasting my path over here. That will bring me to the Hadoop folder. Well, I can take you from the graphic mode also, so that things are clear what exactly you are doing it. It's very simple actually. Means initially it looks very odd, but slowly and steadily if you practice it again and again, you will find that things are very simple. See, I have got the etc folder, and inside etc there is Hadoop folder, and these are the files which are going to be my configuration file. So let me, oh sorry, just a minute. Yeah, so let me show you the terminal here. See, currently this is the path. So I'm in the user, I'm in local, I'm in Hadoop etc, and then Hadoop. So from here I will be working on some files are there which I need to configure. Okay, one after the other we have to do it. We cannot directly open this file. If you open it, you cannot save it. You have to do it through the help of command prompt only. This is what makes Unix so different. Okay, as I always think that Unix is made by the intelligent people for the intelligent people. Okay, so there is a file called the following files we have to go for edit. There is a file called Hadoop-env environment.sh. So let me see it from here. So this is the file which is there. We have to configure this file. If you try to open with right click open text editor, the problem is that you won't be getting the save option. The save option won't come. If you think that if you hit the enter, the save option will come. See, the save option is not coming. This is something because it's a read-only file. You cannot do it like that. Okay. So if I click it, if it is close without saving. So that's the reason we have to open it with the terminal. That's the reason we have to come to this particular path. Okay. So I give you the justification why I am over here. So how do you open the file? Again, the same sudo with the help of sudo gedit. So this is the file which I am going to open it. So I copy the file name. So I come over here, sudo. You need to have the permission, gedit, and then the file name. This is what I have to do it. And I hit the enter. It will open the file. Yes, now the file got open. And here, what we have to do, the role of this file is to tell the path where your Java is located. Your Hadoop env, the environment folder, environment file holds the path where your Java is located. So that's what I have stated. And now see my save option is enabled. So I click the save file and it's done. So that was the first file which I have configured successfully. The second file is the core site.xml. This keeps the information about the name node. Okay, so let me open the file core site.xml. It is also there in the same folder. You can see from the background. So previously I fired this command, so the initial command remains the same. So I will remove the file name and instead of that I will paste the file name core site.xml. This is going to store the cluster information. Okay, yes. So we have to modify the configuration. Here I have written the configuration. I will explain the configuration part. Don't worry. So what I'm doing is that I'm copying this segment of code. Okay, and I'm pasting it. Let me show you what this configuration is all about. If you see this configuration details, it is going to use FS means file system, and this is the default port number that will be assigned for the name node. So when we will run the Hadoop, we will see that this particular port number Hadoop will be using it. Okay, and you remember we have created one temp folder. Okay, one thing I forgot probably. Did I created an app? I don't think I have created. Let me just go and check it out once. So this particular folder I may not have created. Let me just see. Okay, so let me save the file and then we'll check it out. So inside my root directory there will be app, there will be Hadoop and temp. So let me go over here. I doubt if I have done it. So I come to the computer. No, see, I missed out. How come I missed out? So let me see. Okay, let me close this file. Now I should have created that folder some way. I just skipped the line. Yeah, this was the line. Yeah, see. There was create a root directory in the Hadoop which will store its files in operation. I forgot actually. Okay, so this is a command which I have to fire. So now also I can fire it from the current location. No problem with that. Let me clear the screen. Okay, and this folder will be used by the core site.xml. So I'm creating a directory by the name app, which will be in the root directory Hadoop and temp. Okay, I hit the enter. Yeah, the folder got created, but again the permission issue will come. So let me go to the computer other location and see there is a folder called app. Okay, so inside app you have a Hadoop. Inside this temporary location, this is the file which will be used, folder will be used for temporary execution of the cluster. Now the same problem, the ownership has to be changed. Whenever you're creating a directory, you have to change ownership. Okay, see, I mistakenly just skip the following statement. So you be very careful while you're firing this. And I hit the enter, and obviously the ownership got changed. So once you have changed the ownership, then what we have done, we have modified, we have applied this folder inside our core site.xml. Okay, so core site.xml will be responsible for, see, it is telling the path where the directory exists, which will be responsible for the name node execution. Okay, so that folder has to be there, and this is the default port will be used for the name node. We will see very soon when we'll run Hadoop, we will see that it is using this following port number. Okay, so let's come back to that location once again where from we are working on all these files. So other location, then we go to the user, then we go to the local, then we go to the Hadoop, and inside Hadoop we have got etc, inside etc we have got Hadoop folder, and these are the files which we are modifying actually. So now the next file which we are going to modify is map reduce. In short is written hyphen site.xml, but actually there is no file called map reduce. If you see over here, we don't have any file by the name called map reduce, but what we have is that map reduce hyphen site.xml template is there, so we can make a copy of this file, and that is what the command is saying. So there is no file, so copy from the following statement. So we are copying the from the map reduce site.xml template to map reduce site.xml. So new file will be created. Okay, that's really cool. So we put the command over here and hit the enter, which eventually will be creating a new file called map reduce site.xml. So let's go and check it out. Okay, see over here we got the file now. Now we can modify the file. So this will be the following command. So let me copy the file name and let's come over here. Let me type sudo gedit and the name of the file which I am going to modify. Paste it. Wonderful. And the file got open. So again we have to copy the configuration details. So be very careful when I am doing it, otherwise you will miss out some syntax. So this is in the form of a XML configuration is going on. So let me paste it. Okay, job tracker, we will be using this concept job tracker, and the map reduce is the framework which will be having yearn, that's the resource allocation. We will understand all this terminology. So let's save the file, and the file is very nice, good to go. So now we will go for, almost we are in the verge of ending up. We are going for HDFS file system.site.xml. It's a very important file. This file is basically store the replication factor and the path which we have created. Let me open the file first, then you will understand everything. Let me clear the screen. Let me write sudo gedit and the name of the file is HDFS. Let me place HDFS-site.xml. This file will store a very important configuration details. So let me copy the entire configuration details. Be very careful when you are copying the configuration. You don't mistakenly copy something else. So let me paste it over here and I will tell you what it is. See, by default, whenever we work on Hadoop, it will replicate your file. That means it will make a duplicate copy. So by default replication is 3. So I want to reduce it down to 1. Okay. And here is the data node which will be used, and we remember, no, we created a couple of folders HDFS by the name Hadoop store name nodes. I'm using this particular folder for name node, I'm storing this particular folder for data node. So these two folders we have already created, and we have changed the ownership also. Very fine. So we have mentioned the configuration details over here. So let me save the file, and we are almost done. So now this is the last file we have to modify, the resource manager yarn-site.xml. It's the plain going to allocate the resources. So let me edit it. So let me remove the previous file. Almost 80% is now done. I hit the enter, the site yarn site will come. So I will copy this configuration from here. Okay, that's really good, and I will paste it right over here. Yes, this is the yarn. This is going to provide me the resources on which Hadoop is going to work. Great, you have already configured all the files. Now you will just format, like the way we format hard disk, in the same way we have to format our Hadoop also. This command will be fired only once. So Hadoop HDFS name node hyphen format. Okay, so I will copy this command, and from the current location only I will paste it. Remember, this command has to be fired only once, and since my SSH everything has been provided, so it will see now the formatting is taking place. Wow. So the jar files, all the jar files are there. We'll see them when we start the MapReduce program. We will understand all the files. See, the file format, the replication factor was 1, so it's configuring, and it has successfully formatted the whole system. Right. Now we will be able to run. So this, we are already, stage F is over. Now we have to run the Hadoop. Remember, whenever you have to run the Hadoop, you should go to this particular folder, because they are where the start DFS and start EN file exist. So for our easy understanding, what we are doing is that we are inside the user local Hadoop etc. So we can step back. So we came out of Hadoop folder, we came out of etc folder, and here we will have our, see, we have got the sbin folder. So we have to go inside this. Okay. So cd sbin, which holds the binary files. If you want to see graphically, you can see we were in Hadoop folder, we step back, we come to etc, we step back, we come to Hadoop, and here see we have got sbin. So here we have to use these two files, start-dfs and start-yarn.sh. Then only the resources will be allocated and we will be able to run Hadoop. Okay, so whenever you have to run the Hadoop, you have to come to this working directory. So now you fire the command start-dfs. So let me clear the screen and we are going to fire the command. This command we have to execute every time you have to work on Hadoop. See, starting the name node. See, over here we will come across some terms. The SSH configuration has been done. That's the reason it is not prompting to enter the password. Otherwise, it will ask you to enter the password again and again. See, start DFS has activated something called name node, something called data node, and something called secondary name node. So are you sure you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Enter. Very good. So permanently added. Okay, permanently added. And it is not asking me to enter the password. This is the beauty of SSH. See, secondary name node also started. So three important things are started. One is name node, one is data node, one is secondary name node. You can see these processes, they are running in background. So anything that runs in background is called daemon. So you can see the name of these daemons to the help of JPS command. So it will show you what are the processes that are running. See, name node is running, data node is running. This is the master, data node is a slave, and there is a backup of the name node called secondary name node. So these three processes are running through the help of start-dfs, and your JPS command stores the information about the daemons that are running in the background. So now you have to fire one more file, that is your resource allocation. So it will activate two more daemons. So let me paste back over here and start -yarn.sh. It is going to start your resource manager, see, it is, and your node manager. So couple of resource allocation has been provided by this particular file. Again, you can fire the JPS command to see all total. There will be 6 processes, including JPS will be 7. Sorry, name node is there by default, data node is there, a secondary name node is there, node manager is there. So these are the processes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have given the listing over here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wonderful. You have really done a great job. You know, you have already started your Hadoop. So now you can go back to your browser and type the default port number. Remember the port number, and it will show you the port number of your name node. So let me refresh it over here. Wow, wow, wow. The name node information is coming and it will show the port number. It will, let me refresh it once. Yes, great. You have successfully installed your Hadoop, and this is the default port number which we have mentioned even in the code also. This is the port number of name node. If you see the configuration file, you will find that at where we are mentioning the name node. See, let me show you here. Over here, see the FS Hadoop. This was the configuration details of name node was there, and this was the port number which you have written. So it is working very nicely. So this is the interface through which we will work on our Hadoop. Okay, so you have been successfully able to install Hadoop. Trust me, this is what the Hadoop interface is, which we will work on these things over here. Don't worry. Okay, so if you have successfully installed, so you need to come out of Hadoop as well. So how do you come out of Hadoop? So again, there are two files out there which is present in the same working directory. Well, if you have started, then you can stop it also. It's always preferable if you stop with the resource manager. So you copy the command from here and you paste back over here, and we are stopping our daemons. So once we are stopping our daemons, the resource manager, the node manager, these two things will be dissolved. So if you fire the JPS command, you will not find these two processes left over there. So JPS, see, those two processes are gone. The first three processes are still there because your DFS is working. So let me copy the stop dfs.sh and I hit the enter, and it will stop all the name node data node. While you are stopping it, see, your localhost is coming in action. Your SSH has been configured. That's the reason it is not prompting you to enter the password. Otherwise, it have annoyed you number of times by asking password repeatedly. For stopping each of these domain, it will prompt you to enter the password again and again. Okay, so that's the reason the SSH was been set for this particular user and was allocated to the local host, so that it will not ask you to enter the password again and again. and we are successfully able to come out of the process. So again, if you go, you will find only JPS is left and all the daemons have been closed successfully. So now if you come back over here and you will just refresh it, obviously nothing is going to be connected. Okay. Oh my god, it was a pretty long video and all the command of this file is also over. That's all for this video presentation. Believe me, you have done a real great job.